Hey, what's going on, guys? Got episode number 63 of Marvel Yap today. Today we're going to be going over the OTA Hopes that we have for this week. We're going to be talking about Grand Arena, breaking down some of the decks, as well as talking a little bit about limited time game modes in general. And then we got a brand new Series 4 Buy These, or are these cards absolutely trash? Tier list for you guys. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. And as always, we are joined by the hostess with the mostest, covering his luscious hair with a little beanie on top, the beautiful mustache. Oh, his hair is actually all over the place. But he's wearing the beanie to distract you from looking deep into his eyes as the blue-eyed white dragon, most handsome mustache in Central U.S. Good old notmydance, as we do kind of doc stance a little bit. Oops. How are we doing today?
I've said where I am. It's chills. I'm doing well, though. I've said where I feel like you and I both have said where we live in general. I'm in, right? Is that okay to say? Right? I think we're okay to say in general. Yeah. You're in the Floridian area. I'm in the Colorado area. We have very different climates, and I guess I've never thought about that. We are really dressed differently for that. So the reason I actually have the beanie is because it matches this shirt that my wife got me.
Oh, that's
which
awesome.
has a penguin on it. It's a penguin sweater, and it's a size too big.
Okay.
But I love it because you're taller, so you have to deal with this in some capacity. When you're taller, you just accept the fact your clothes are going to be smaller on you, I think, oftentimes.
Yes, I like having roomy clothes. It depends. In some instances, I'd rather have more roomy clothes. In some instances, I'd rather have more fitted clothes. It depends on what I'm doing and where I'm going, kind of thing.
I think that's entirely fair. My sweaters especially, I also have long arms. They also always will roll up, and it doesn't I have to roll them up halfway to get that look. Yep. Because at least it can look good, but then also without that, they just look like they're too short on me because they are. Because that's the way my arms are. So this one's in a size, I think a size or two bigger than I normally get, but it just feels slightly oversized, and it's so comfortable, and I love it. And that's the reason why I was wearing this beanie, and I got distracted and started yapping about that. How are you doing, my man, in a much warmer area, I must say?
Yeah, it is definitely much, much warmer. Our cool weather right now is 60s and 70s, which I think is perfect weather. Down here, which I know, and I say cooler, because I know that's not even remotely close to how cold it is.
Is this where I start gatekeeping and saying what the weather has been over here? Or is it I don't know?
Well, you can gatekeep, but we're also in still some hurricane season and stuff too. So we're gonna be in more of kind of humid, kind of temperate climate down here. Because of that, it's been raining the past couple days. Another reason why the temperature is as is. But that's not to take away from some of the awesomeness we have going on today in the Yap Dance. We are going to be talking about the OTA. We have an OTA Thursday this week, and then we have an OTA Thursday next week. We have back-to-back OTA weeks.
Is there? Oh yeah,
yeah.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, which is really, really interesting. And then we're going to be talking about Grand Arena. We're going to be looking at all the Grand Arena decks, talk about some of the game mode kind of concepts and stuff a little bit there too. But our longest section of the app today is going to be a Series 4 tier list. We're going to be ranking all of the cards in what to buy and what not to buy. Not necessarily of these are the best Series 4 cards. It's more of a infographic to kind of say, if I were to spend my resources on these cards, this is what I would spend my resources on.
Which I think that's what people take the tier list typically as. They take them as just, this is the card I should get, and this is the card not. But as cards, Second Inner tries to balance the cards so that the trash ones aren't trash, and the ones that are insane are just no longer as insane. But that doesn't mean that there are still some different situations, because some of the cards are this is just a good piece you want in a lot of decks, or this is a card that is just, you should get this card because it does so much. So there's a lot of different options there, and we're going to go through all those and break all of those down. And because also, as they've increased their balance cadence, they've increased the amount of cards they're releasing, we are just doing Series 4. I think Series 5 we're going to save probably, I think we're going to wait 2 weeks, I think, before we hit that one, because I think next week we're going to be dealing with the new season.
Yep.
But it's a lot of stuff already. I am stoked, though, just to talk about the series of cards, because I feel like that is an interesting... I love the way we do that stuff. It's going to take forever, though, so we should really get into what we are potentially wanting this week in the OTA.
Yeah, looking at some of these OTA changes, the first one I'm going to throw up on screen here, Dance told me about earlier, and I was like, Wait, what? And it's rescue.
All right, so I think rescue has a much bigger deficit typically than is understood early game. And the problem is people will say this is an early game card, so it doesn't need to get changed, right? Hey, Tuck, if you do me a favor, go to the base variant for me, and you're going to see something chat will not see it. Tell me what series this card is.
Series 3.
This is a Series 3 card that is as bad as it's been for forever. So there's no argument about this being an early game card. There's no argument about any of that stuff. This is just a card that has been left and forgotten. And I think this could get 2 points of power, and it's potentially fine. The biggest thing that doesn't make this great, yeah, it's a 4/6.
Okay.
Same ability. The reason is because you have to commit multiple bits of power into that lane in order for it to be good. You can't play it on turn 6 to make it a final thing. You can't even use it inside of a Scar deck, really, because you want to be able to use Surtur. I don't know what that was. But you have to do so many different things specifically with this card in order for it to be even beneficial that I don't think a 4/6 is a bad thing. And again, it's not an early game card. And this is something I had to realize. This is Series 3. This card should be better.
Yeah, I would say so. This needs to be better. I mean, you've seen Warpath get play in the past couple weeks, and you've not seen Rescue get any play. And
Warpath has gotten play because people are playing Destroyer, right? Isn't that what it is?
Zombie Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Zombie Captain Marvel. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Which is anyway. Do you like Zombie Captain Marvel?
I think Zombie Captain Marvel is meh or okay. I don't have any qualms with the card, but I was like, it literally was like the personified definition of 4-cost activate, in my opinion. Like it just literally put that even more into perspective. Like 4-cost activates are still in a rough spot.
Yeah, it's a rough one. I feel like I think they're gonna try to keep it as a 4-cost activate. I wish they wouldn't. I don't have that as a card, by the way. I don't know if you do, but
I don't have that as a card, but Dance, I can't stand this card. I can't.
Yeah,
Cerebro.
This has been the one that. So I've heard all the pros talking about how they're over Cerebro at this point. And what do you want done to Cerebro?
I want it to go to a 3/1 +2.
3/1 +2.
Yep, instead of +3. I just want to go back to +2. It's either that or it stays +3 and you make it a 4-cost.
I was thinking it would be a 4/2 +2.
4/2?
Or 4/2 +3, sorry, yeah. Make it even worse than Cerebro 3. I don't want Cerebro 3 to be a thing. I like 4-cost in general, though.
It's still good in Cerebro 3 at a 4. I mean, I guess it doesn't get hit. It doesn't get Ravona value. It doesn't get Bastion value.
That's the big thing. Yeah. I specifically said it for the anti-Ravona synergy.
Okay. I mean,
yeah. I don't know if it's right. Listen, hey. I like the idea of Cerebro changing. I don't have as many qualms with the card, but I've heard enough of the cries, the outpouring that I'm fine with the card getting changed. I agree though, and it should get changed. I like the 4-cost angle honestly more so than the 3-cost one, or it goes like 3/2 +2, whatever.
Okay.
Because I think, especially for a thing that's supposed to like be the key to a deck, I don't mind if it's just a more expensive piece of the deck.
Okay. Now, this change, Dance, what do we have for the big bad wolf over here?
Dude, Werewolf by Night, and this we've talked about this before, where we're a month or two, even longer, like we are in the future oftentimes for what the balances are going to be. Sometimes it's the week of, as we got right last time, but other times it's like way further in advance. And this is one of them that is, I think, going to be way further in advance. And I really think Werewolf by Night, I'm going to say end of this, I'd be surprised if we exit this year with Werewolf by Night still being the same cost. We've got 2 months left in the year.
4-cost again?
Or sorry, same power. I'm so sorry. I said cost, same power. No, I think he loses at least one bounce, potentially goes to either a 3/0, but I think it's 3/1 at least. But as more and more skills enter the game, and I haven't had the opportunity to see it yet, But I do know you put out a whole video talking about the new series cards according to data mines. We've done that obviously as well. But if y'all don't know, actually, I'll say go watch the video. It is down. It's Tucker's video. I should just say that. Go check out Tucker's content. You're already here. TUCCRR over on YouTube. Over on Twitch, over on TikTok. He's going to be posting a lot of great content. He posts great shorts. He posts really fun clips. And he also streams a lot more than I do because he has more free time. So you make sure you go follow him. You make sure you get the opportunity to go give him all the support he deserves, which is all of it, and actually more than he deserves. But it is what it is. So make sure you go give him all the supports, all the subscriptions, all the follows. I don't know, whatever other things you're doing on other platforms. Just do all of the things that are awesome to him. That's phrasing, but anyway, I think that Werewolf by Night should go to a 3-1 just because there are so many low-cost skills that are entering the game, and as more and more skills enter, the better and better Werewolf by Night gets.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to like a 3-1. I think we'll have to see how the skills work. I think, of course, limited time, game mode, data mine, deafening chord. Is something that I want to keep in mind too when it comes to playing against a werewolf deck on curve, because you can potentially just nuke the werewolf on turn 4 potentially with it being a targeted 2-3 cost or less. But there's so many different skills added to the game that it's really interesting that we're talking about Werewolf by Night needing a change, which makes sense because they're all on reveals, opposed to Nicholas Scratch actually having a lot of value with all these skills now. It's which is just funny to note. Just putting that out there. I
mean, it's just due to the fact that one of them doesn't die to Killmonger.
Yes, one of them doesn't die to Killmonger and doesn't feel like a tempo loss at all because you're really setting up a game plan around like a werewolf having it as a win con kind of thing. I wouldn't be surprised if this went to a 3-1. I think they would probably start at 3-1, 3-0. I think maybe is a little bit too much with it being a +2.
My logic would just be, how good is Prowler with it? Like that's the
Prowler and Web Sling, Deafening Chord.
I think Deafening Chord is. I don't know if Web Sling would be as good with Werewolf by Night, but it still could be.
Well, Web Sling
because it does let you free up the lane.
Yeah, throw power away and like also enable you to do like other things too. Like in a sense, like you could maybe put that onto a void. And then you move the void to another lane so you can annihilate somewhere else, like kind of like a Madam Web kind of thing. But speaking of move cards, I think Scream should be a 2-3, which is my hottest take. Yes. I was playing a lot of Scream last night, and this card just feels like really slow tempo right now, like opposed to what it once was. And I know even Luke Cage isn't like super relevant in the meta, and I think it's just like 2-2, 2-3. Like this is an immediate Red Guardian target if you don't have Prio. Like this is, it gets nuked there, and it's just like there's a lot of decks that this just does not catch up to. I know we are moving into a move season, so this might be a very large preemptive kind of buff to a card that we may need to wait till like a future OTA into this next season in November. But I think Scream needs a little bit of help. I know her deck is performing well in some instances in high infinite, but if you look at the games, it is like 60 games of that deck in like higher infinite and stuff. And I don't know necessarily if it is the Scream engine that is doing the work or if it is actually like the Craven stuff. That deck also is running a Cosmic, or it's running Lady Deathstrike, and it is running Shang-Chi. And like there's those tech cards as well that people aren't expecting a Shang-Chi, people aren't expecting a Lady Deathstrike, and I think that's probably stealing more cubes than the Scream stuff. But I think this is kind of a card that I'm thinking needs a bit of a change. I could be wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if all the move stuff goes crazy, especially this next season, and they need something to be able to kind of nuzzle it a little bit.
I think I feel like if they did that, for one, I think Scream would go to a 2-2. I think they do one of the things where they would just be like, hey, we just want to remind you this card exists as a counter rather than just saying no entirely. But I do think that I want to see the season. I feel like the season needs to be a thing before I would say anything. But if the season's like too good or whatever, I could easily see again in it being a thing in like, I don't know, mid-November, whatever. I don't remember when the OTA is for that point. I think there is one. But I would say, actually, I'm going to look it up now because I know I'm wondering. But I think I probably would go, there's an OTA on the 20th of November. So I would say this would, I feel like it would be a 20th of November would say OTA thing, like preemptively, if that happened. But that's also like depending on the season. Because the biggest thing, actually, I'd argue with Scream is the fact that I think no one likes Scream as the way it can work, because it can feel really rough. But also Mercury exists.
Yes.
And Mercury oftentimes is just so much more effective at shutting down like the move decks than Scream is. And you have to use the move package in order to help your Scream stuff, whereas you don't really need to do that with Mercury. So,
which is cool in concept, because like for at least like we're talking about at the beginning of the season, right? I think Deafening Chord is going to be really great into people playing Mercury, because like like that card itself, like there's, I don't know, we're into stuff we're gonna be talking about in the next Yap, because I don't know, just looking at all this new stuff got me super hyped. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if Scream is not performing the way they want to, and they need something to be able to put the clamps a little bit on some of these move decks. That they do something with Scream, because I'm also like, we're thinking of like, maybe move bounce or like typical torch move. There's gonna be a lot of different types of move and everything too, with Spider-Punk, with Ezekiel Sims. Like there's a lot of stuff that's gonna be happening. But Dance, did you want me to go over my next one before you do the last one?
Yeah, hit your next one, I'll say. Which, first, if y'all do want to hear us like talk about all these things, I know we're alluding to a lot of cards right now that aren't in the game, and they're technically data mines, so stuff could be changing. Next week, we'll be going over all the new season cards. We'll have official stats on them, because right now everything's subject to change. So we will be able to actually fully talk about these cards, and you'll understand a little bit more. So make sure you come back next week. But right now, Tuck's gonna sell me on a Swordmaster change.
Well, also next week, guys, if you guys do know someone named Husky Puppies, he actually will be on the Yap with us next week, going over the new cards, giving us his OTA predictions and cards he would like to see changed as well. But I don't know if this is gonna happen this season or if it's gonna happen.
Dropped that, by the way. Sorry, just dropping that Huskies in the next episode. This guy, anyway.
So Swordmaster, right? Swordmaster hits, odd costed cards from your hand. What if this was a little weird, okay? What if this was a little weird? What if this hits a card in the middle of your hand instead of like an odd costed card? Or what if it sliced 2 odd costed cards in your hand, but you make it like a 3/2 and you get like the double sword animation?
Interesting.
You'd have to decrease its power for sure. Like, that's without a doubt. It's either
I like the middle card more.
Yeah, because then you have it targeted. There's far left, there's far right. What about I hit the third card instead of... I mean, it gets weird if you have, like, 4 cards in your hand, then it's a 50-50 between the second card and the third card.
It would be like discard a card that's not the leftmost or rightmost card in your hand. Something like that. I don't know. I like the ideas, though. That's a fun one with Swordmaster, I think. It will... Yeah, that feels fun. I like that. Yeah,
I don't know how
that feels good.
Word it, but something like that. Discard the non-leftmost or non-rightmost card in your hand.
Yeah, something weird.
Or like discard the middlemost card in your hand. I don't know if that's a thing. We're kind of just spewing. But something with that with Swordmaster. But of course, odd costed cards. This, of course, is before Weapon H. The way Weapon H's data mine comes out in December. But, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll get there. I like the idea of Swordmaster getting changed. I was trying to run some stuff with Swordmaster. It's funny. I was actually trying to play some Firelord stuff where you're bringing back 3 costed cards. Swordmaster still doesn't even make the cut in that list.
Yeah, no, that's just feels bad.
Maybe because it's a sword.
That's actually...
God, I should have planned that joke. That was so funny of me.
Ooh, wait. What if? Scratch what I was going to say. What if instead Swordmaster's like Moon Knight? But Swordmaster discards an odd card in your hand and your opponent's hand. Kind of like how Moon Knight does even cost in your hand and your opponent's hand. What if Swordmaster did your hand and your opponent's hand?
It loses power, but it would be better. I don't know if it'd be too good. Yeah, I don't mind it. Swordmaster getting some sort of playability is a solid idea, though. I do like that. But I think we got only one more left, right? Okay. I'm going to give you, before I even say what I want to do with this card, I'm going to tell you something with Super Scroll. I think Super Scroll is a mistake.
A mistake?
I do not believe that this ability should exist. Straight up. Actually, I do not believe this is a good ability for the metagame. this is either a non-playable card, or it's only playable when a specific meta is going on. It's just such a meta-specific card that's it. Or it's like, hey, there's a new ongoing card. Let's just steal it. Like, it's not a good card. I don't think this is a good card for the health of Marvel Snap, right? It's potentially balanced. It's potentially fine because it like ebbs and flows, but I don't think this is a good design long-term for Marvel Snap.
Okay. I think, like, yeah, it's super narrow, like, in the spectrum of which you, like, see this and everything, too. But, like, it's like, well, you're doing stuff. Well, I'm going to do it, too. Like, I see what you're saying, and I think you see it, like you said, in specific metas and stuff. And
so
I can see the
part of
gripe,
it is even, like, as I'm going into, what is it? As we'll talk about Grand Arena here in a second, I think Super Scroll's amazing if you run it in your deck in Grand Arena. Because of just... people are going to do Victoria hand things. People have like armor as well. People have, there's a whole ongoing deck, at least one, multiple, I think. There's just enough ways that you can be doing stuff, I think, with ongoing cards inside of like, specifically, I'm going to say Grand Arena. We'll talk about that more in a moment. That I think Super Scroll's amazing in there. And it actually is part of the reason I already have the new card from Grand Arena, but we'll talk about that later.
I think early on in Grand Arena, it's good. Once the meta like settles, it'll be super specific to see, you know, because like once the meta settles in like these new game modes, it's like 3 to 4 decks maybe that people are playing, and if they're not playing ongoing decks, this card just kind of sits there.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens there. But so that's all to say that I think this current ongoing ability should just get removed. I don't think it's a good one for the game. I don't think it's great. What I want to see this card do, and I'm leaning into the new stuff they have, right? I want this to be I want it to be a 4/4 with the activatable ability. Copy the text of a back row enemy card here.
A back row enemy card?
Similar to the way that, you know, scrolls infiltrate, they sneak behind the lines. Actually, that was legitimately with my logic. I was trying to think of what type of card it would steal. And then I was thinking about Secret Invasion. Dude, they invade secretly, go in undercover, potentially, spoiler alert, ruining any sort of emotional arc War Machine had during the final phase of the most recent phase of the MCU. Anyway, I think that this should be a 4/4 with the activated ability. Copy the text of a back row enemy card here.
You know what would have been cooler than that, though? You'd be like, activate destroy a card with less power here, and gain that card's text.
Dude, I'd be down too. I'm down with that. Like, I think there's a lot of ways you could do it.
Or the first ever push back into your opponent's hand. Like, you activate...
Oh, that's fire.
Throw back to your opponent's hand. Whoa. And then...
Oh, God.
You throw back into your opponent's hand, and you steal their text. So it's like that card's not on the board anymore, but you stole their text. I mean, I don't know how you would do that conceptually, but...
I don't know. Maybe this is an on-reveal at that point. I love that idea, too. Yeah, there's enough stuff there that I'm like... I think that this should just take the text of an opponent card. It doesn't... I don't think you need to do all the ongoing abilities. I don't think... Like, it's just not great for the meta game. And it's just not a card that you're ever like, oh, yeah, I'm going to put Super Scroll in my deck because it's cool. No, this isn't a card you can even tech with. Like, you can't do anything with this card other than specifically plan around like, okay, everyone's playing ongoing. Let's do this. Or the new card is ongoing. I have to use it. I just don't think this card is a good design, as is.
Okay. Nah, Dance hates the scrolls. You hate to see it. Ongoing scrolls.
I just think there's enough cards where it's just like, the card technically doesn't have a problem, but it's just not a good card for the game. This card shouldn't exist.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe talk about that more later at a different time because I've got other cards I could talk about that with, but I think Scroll is one of them.
Yeah, maybe in another video in the future we'll do a cards that should not exist in Marvel.
That's just a fun title.
But we're gonna move on over to some good old Grand Arena as we talk about first all of the decks that are in Grand Arena. I have not played any Grand Arena just yet. I know Dance said that he's been messing around with it as well, or he has been messing around. I haven't. What have you thought about it so far?
It's just a fun game mode still. Like I said, I thought that there are a lot of people playing ongoing initially, and thusly Super Scroll felt amazing initially. Yep. We'll see if it continues to feel good, but it's I just feel like there's enough different types of decks, there's enough different things you can be playing with it, that I do love what Grand Arena can do. I'm excited by it. And I don't know. We'll see what happens as time goes on. But for what it's worth, I think 4 of these decks have pretty good, like, just ongoing abilities, which again is what I really liked with Scroll, because you have some returning decks, right? I'm gonna talk about those real fast with like the Mole Man stuff, right? And this deck runs Victoria Hand. It runs Frigga as well to copy Victoria Hand's ability. It runs Blue Marvel. It runs Quinjet. And this is one that I'm like, this is a great one to use with any sort of like copying these ongoing abilities. Rogue's also pretty awesome. And I do like the Subterranean. Did they buff Subterranean Summons to be a +3? Was that in the OTA last time, or was it?
Yes, they buffed that in the OTA in that for the game mode last time.
Yeah, it's good. I like that, and I love the fact that they've. I don't think Surge was in this deck last time.
No, I think Surge was a new addition,
which is awesome. I think that's a great addition for this deck. I think Surge is just a good card, and so this deck feels like a lot of fun. I think this is a very good pile of cards. The only thing is, I'm kind of surprised that they didn't put Bastion in here. They have Agent Coulson. I mean, it really feels like this should be a Bastion. Like that should just be Bastion, and then this deck is probably, honestly, pretty close to just being fine.
Yeah, I think Bastion is something included here. Also, something I had forgotten is that you actually do start out with 2 energy in this game mode. So you actually...
Yeah, I did forget that as well.
So that actually is very beneficial to allow you to get these combos and stuff. And, you know, right now at the time recording, this is day 1, so the meta hasn't completely settled, and people are trying a bunch of new things.
Yeah, I think the game mode's been out for like 2 hours, maybe. I don't know. It's not long at all. But yeah, I mean, I like that one. And then this is the one where it's just like, hey, you run Super Scroll, you just eat.
Mm-hmm. You eat all the Omega Reds, which is, of course, exactly what you want. Council Reeds is still really solid too. And like, it's like a Surge. It's literally a Surge.
Yep, it is literally a Surge. The biggest thing that I'm still surprised by with this deck is they got some really awkward ongoings. Mojo, like, why is Mojo in this deck? Why is Mojo in that pile of cards, bro?
Well, Punisher.
Listen, Punisher's also bad, but Mojo's worse. I'm surprised they have, especially with things where they're talking about like trying to fill up the board, and they don't have Sam Wilson in this deck. Yeah,
I don't know. Maybe they didn't want to have people get access to all the Series 4 and Series 5 cards. You know why, Dance? Why? Because they wanted to be able to pump out game mode packs. They don't want the meta to shift entirely, because those 3 or 4 decks that perform really well, they only really got to mess with those. And the cards that people don't have, they can put those cards into packs and make people spend their resources on those, which are targeted packs, which is nice. Yeah. But
do they have any of them for Grand Arena?
I don't know if they have any at the moment. They did have them for Sanctum, of course. But
yeah, I don't think they did not announce any. I don't believe so for Grand Arena. So I don't know if any of those are happening. So I'm gonna ask you to loosen your tinfoil hat a little bit. But again, another deck where I think once again, just really good to use with stupid Super Scroll. I hate how good Super Scroll seems like in this type of deck. Kyera. Now that they've removed Kyera is a fair card. Killmonger is no longer in the deck. I don't think Kyera should be here anymore.
And is the pixel animation, is that something in the game already that we can get?
Nope. That is there's a few different things. So actually on the Mole Man one, right, there's a green distressed border we can't actually access otherwise. Similarly, I think that, let's see, I think that this one, no, the stretch goals has that one, and the pixel effect is a one that's been data mined for a second, is only available here. And once again, with other fun decks, Carnage is back. So these are the 4 decks, right, that we had before. They've done a few different variations on stuff. Why in the world dude, I'm pretty sure Moira, by the way, copies the skill of Carnage.
Yeah, it should, just like Dormammu. So
yep.
I don't know why you wouldn't run Moira. I mean, I'm probably not running Uncle Ben. Probably not. You could actually, the thing is, you could probably run Kid Omega in this just because you have extra energy.
I definitely think there should have been a Moira in this deck, because you want to copy that multiple times in a row. And the fact that they have Sabretooth in this pile is a choice.
Yes, Sabretooth value. You can play about on turn 2.
Glenn needs to stop it on his Sabretooth love. Listen, I get it. He's like, Sabretooth gets better when people were playing, when Kid Omega came out. Oh, we're all spinning it in here. Like, stop.
Nope. And then the new decks we have are going to be the Master of Magnetism Magneto, which is also running Mojo with gray
This one makes a smaller
Kirby.
amount of sense. It has gray or silver Kirby, which is pretty interesting. Again, talking about different effects.
It looks good.
This is a weirder one. I don't know how this is gonna go, but I do like this. I like the ideas of this stuff here in general. We'll see how good it actually is, but it does very much. It's a very specific style of deck that I have no idea if would be good outside of it, but it does seem like an interesting one, and I like that stuff. Giganto, I don't get it though.
I have no idea why. Maybe is it for Magneto's skill? Move all enemy 3 and 4 cost cards to this location. If either side here is full, double your champion's power.
No, it's not. It's a 4 cost skill, by the way. But yeah, I don't know what Giganto's doing here, bro. But it is. I do like the idea of this. You've got the Hulk. Hulk has a deck, the second of these, with obviously his what is it? His skill, for what it's worth, is a 3 cost one as you're going through these his actual cards. Hulk Smash. On reveal, set the cost of your Hulks to 4, whether they are in deck or in hand. And it's not listed in the game, but it's weird. They've basically any of the cards that have Hulk in their name, those are the ones that will get their cost reduced. Not Scar.
Yeah, he doesn't have Hulk in his name.
I don't know if I love that, but yeah, this is an interesting pile. I do like the way that these decks are like. These seem interesting. I don't know if they're going to be good.
Why didn't this work with High Evo? Like that just feels like it. I mean, I guess because this Hulk is not a Hulk without an ability at the same time, because this Hulk's ability is his skill. I think that's probably why it doesn't work with High Evo.
I would agree with you if it wasn't for the fact in their official game news section, as I pull this up here, they talk about what what all these cards' abilities are, and they talk about all of them. Hulk literally says as a 6/12 with no ability. It's weird. This card doesn't get buffed by Washington DC, and I'm assuming Patriot as well, by the way.
Which is this freaking card art's awesome, but you can't get this one.
You can get the Carnage one, I think, in their event pass, which
you can get the Carnage. You can also get Thor, Mag, and Ghost Spider.
Those are in the portal pulls, though.
Yes.
Carnage from the last event is in the other one. Yeah. But cool stuff there, and we got a Thor's deck.
Good old Thors with Lockjaw. Activate Lockjaw, Frigga, Absman, Beta Ray Bill, Blink, Jane, Gore, and Odin, and Hulkling as well, because...
Why is Hulkling in this deck, bro? That's King Eitri. That should have been King Eitri, and the fact it's not is a mistake. I don't get it. I truly do not get why that's not a King Eitri. That does not make sense to me. I get maybe it's because they have the extra energy. Maybe not worth it.
No.
But for what's worth, his ability, just so you know, the champion's ability does say did we say this? Thundering Hammer. It's a 2-cost one, which basically, again, because they start in your hand, you can play them up. Basically, your turn 1, if you play this deck, is you shuffle Mjolnir into your deck, and then you just draw a card.
Not bad. That's a pretty good start. You know, extra draw seems pretty good.
Seems fun. Seems solid at least. And then you've got Ghost Spider, which is if you asked me to pick a champion out of the move archetype, I don't know if I would have ever said Ghost Spider as my top 3 picks, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, this card looks cool. And then like the ability is your champion gets +2 power for each time one of your cards moved this game. And just to mention, Killmonger is banned in this game mode. So there is no Killmonger to be able to hit your Ghost Spider. I think Elektra is still possible, but...
I think Elektra is still possible. You can also, I think, there even as I think in the Hulk's deck, you even have like a... what's the card I'm thinking of? You have Lady Deathstrike, right?
Yeah.
But Elektra is banned. You also, you don't have a Cannonball. You don't have Shang-Chi. You don't have there's not a lot of ways to destroy stuff.
No, this
also, again,
this
limited time things. This is pink background or pink border with the webs, and then also like the web background thing.
The web background, so good. What the heck?
Yeah, what the heck is Hulkbuster doing in that deck? I don't know. And again, not using Sam Wilson, but they have a Hulk.
Well, Hulkbuster makes your card a new card. So like if you Hulkbuster, you can then Ghost Spider the card that got Hulkbustered.
You don't even have Iron Fist though to do that with.
No, but you have Ghost Spider.
There are a few different things, and I don't know. That should there are a couple of places in this where I'm like, okay, I get it. You maybe like a couple of these cards. This is where yes, it's obvious it's a pre-built deck because I don't think anyone's running that card normally. That would be a Sam Wilson or something like that otherwise.
Yes, this is exactly why they have custom decks for you to be able to build your own thing, build your own deck, and what decks do you think though, Dance, are going to be the main decks for this time around?
I think there's a good chance we will be seeing a lot of. I feel like it's going to be Mole Man is one that's going to be really good, and then the other one is going to be Thor, because Thor can do Werewolf by Night. That's my guess.
And I think honestly, Destroy. Granted.
Oh,
Destroy.
You're so right. Yeah, Destroy. Yes. Sorry, I don't know why I didn't say that earlier. Destroy is amazing. Yeah.
But there's going to be a lot of Cosmo and armor, I think, after the first couple days, and I think that's where this is going to fall flat a little bit. So you're going to.
That's why we got to record our videos with this stuff quickly.
That's true. We do got to make those videos. Which, by the way, Dance will probably have a video up. If it's not tonight, it'll probably be tomorrow. He'll have a video up with his favorite.
Not gonna have one.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna do for one of these. I don't think. I'm sorry. Just telling you now.
Dance will have a video up tomorrow or on Wednesday. If it's not for a Grand Arena card, it will be for Zombie Galacti, which we'll be talking about that card next, or Zombie Sentry, which you can check out both videos because Dance will make either them in the same deck or he'll make 2 separate deck guides for those cards. And you guys also need to check out his Fire Lord Strong Guy deck he actually posted today, which will be yesterday now at the time of this being posted, down on his YouTube channel, which will be down in the description below. He also makes the fantastic thumbnails we have for Marvel Yap and for Buy or Bust every single week, as well as for some other creators you may see around the Snap community itself. You can also catch his content live on Twitch, where he'll be streaming Marvel Snap or some other variety games. He's been streaming, honestly, a lot more Snap than some of these other games recently, which is freaking awesome. We love to see that. And then you can also check out his Twitter, which will be down in the description below, where he also goes over these decks, as well as these stats for these decks, and some potential questions for the community that you guys might enjoy. But yeah, all of Dance's fantastic content is going to be down in the description below, as we do go ahead and move on over to the new cards we have coming out. We're going to start talking about Zombie Sentry first, which is, of course, the Grand Arena card. You get around 1,500 or 2,000 in Grand Arena, I do believe.
Yeah, as I already have unlocked it, you unlock it at 1,440 points in terms of the, I don't know, their medals or whatever you call them. But yeah, for what it's worth, this is on the free side of the track, but also if you spend the 800 gold, which thus far has seemed very worthwhile, because it also gives you just enough other extra stuff, you can get this. I think I got this within 15 or so games. Didn't take me long. Just kind of played a few. I conceded a few that were just like, oh, I'm going to lose this game. All right, I just forfeited because you don't have to stay in there. You can just leave. And you still get
rewards, right? Or
you get half points. You get half points if you lose. So there's nothing. Final day, people will probably just be retreating a lot in order just to get 5 points. A lot.
Okay.
But
that's not a bad shout.
Yeah, this card is going to be, I think, pretty decent in terms of what you want to do for the Horde deck. I don't know if it's going to be amazing, but at least it will do. I like this in concept more so than I enjoy Zombie Mr. Fantastic.
Okay, and I think it's cool because you can also play it, right? And I think this is the last Horde card we have releasing and data mine. So this is almost kind of like a make or break. And then also something I would do want to note about Grand Arena, you guys that are, as you're progressing through the track, okay? I want you guys to keep in mind, do not click on the tickets in the track unless you are at 0. Yeah. Because you cannot go over a certain threshold of tickets. So in order to make sure you can maximize the amount of tickets you have, make sure when you are redeeming your tickets in the track, it is when you are closer to 0, not when you're at a higher amount, because you won't be able, I believe, to get those tickets, right?
Yeah. Don't basically, and also it's like either side. So if they're on the free track or the pay track, as long as you have like both sides, don't click either. Don't just skip that one. Wait until you're 0 and then go for it. Or and that could even be final day where you just do a bunch of stuff. I think I accidentally clicked like 1 or 2 already, but then I've still got other ones I've already kept because I've realized I was going to be way over the cap for that, and I just was trying to be careful. So definitely would keep that in mind because that's a really good shout for this as well. But I like the way that this seems for the Horde archetype. I do think it seems like a pretty good card. Again, I feel like some people just thought instinctually you cannot play this at the right location, which you definitely can.
And it counts itself.
Yeah, counts itself. It's weird to me that Zombie Captain Marvel isn't, Zombie Scarlet Witch isn't a champion. I feel like that should have been I feel like we should have gotten a Horde deck in the Grand Arena.
It would make so
Especially
much
for this
sense
season.
because when we had Grand Arena the first time, it was all Fantastic Four characters, really. So
Yeah.
why do we not have literally the season is the
even just like one of them, right? Like I feel like that would have made so much more sense. And they don't have any of the other ones. That's my biggest gripe. I feel like I would have just liked to see.
Honestly,
I feel like I just would have.
should have been Zombie Fanta instead of Herbie, and it's still the Zoo style deck for like created cards.
Yeah, you could even just do that. Yeah, right. Like you could just do that. You don't even have to focus on the whole Horde thing. There are none of them there, and I'm willing to bet they just kind of slotted this stuff in advance. They're like, all right, this is when the month is coming in. We don't know what's going to be coming out around it. What's the cool Zombie Sentry? Throw it in the pack. Done. Like it doesn't seem like there's much correlation with a lot of these things. So I don't know how many decisions were made in that regard, but I do feel like I would like for that to have been the thing.
And I do like though that this is in the rewards track and not something you have to buy. I think that's been a really good W by Second Dinner, is not making cards having to be purchased in the shop. I think they did a really solid job back with Sanctum and with this now after the feedback they had with Kid Omega during High Voltage. So I think that is solid.
So if y'all are enjoying that type of stuff, by the way, play these game modes. The way Second Dinner is going to keep track of this is what is getting engaged with. It doesn't matter if people are like, it doesn't matter if you don't like it and if you do like this one and then you don't play it and then you're upset that it doesn't come back. Legitimately, Second Dinner is going to be tracking the metrics for this. They have said they're checking to see how these passes do this month. They're checking to see if it was a one-off time with Grand Arena's thing. They're trying to see the best way they can monetize these because legitimately, this is a game that they are going to try to monetize. Makes sense. So spend the gold on this pass is part of the reason I'm going to continue pushing that, because then it makes it so that the pass is going to be one of the nicer ways you can get cards. You don't have to do anything similar to what we had with the Kid Omega situation. And it also makes it so that Second Dinner it encourages engagement with the game mode. So Second Dinner does more of this type of thing where you're not incentivized to maybe spend a lot of money if you don't have it, but you also can still use the resources. So there's just a lot of reasons I will be continuing to push for that. And so if you haven't and you're not certain on it, maybe that can convince you, maybe you can't, but I'll recommend it.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good shout. And Dance also told me before the app he does truly recommend Zombie Galacti.
I didn't say this. I did not say this deck. I didn't say that. Listen, Zombie Galacti is a card that I don't know if it's going to be good. It's a copium card up the wazoo. If y'all don't know what this card does, it's a 7-cost 4-power card that has the start of game ability. It chooses 6 other cards in your decks. It chooses. You don't. It chooses. I saw people questioning, like, how are you going to choose these cards? There's going to be an animation beginning of the game. No, it chooses them for you. I'm assuming you won't even know what they are until you draw them. And then on reveal, transform those cards into copies of this. This is a card, Tuck, that I almost even said in my OTA hopes that this is going to go to a 7-5.
I think 7-5 would be actually pretty generous. I wouldn't hate it at 7-5. One of my biggest questions about this card is I believe you get to see the hue on your cards to see, what can get transformed. Your opponent should not be able to see that, right?
I think they will, because they see the green hue on, like, if there's a hue or an effect on a card on the board, it is typically shown for both players. I don't know of a time that it's only shown for one, unless you can remind me something.
No, I mean, no. I think your opponent sees all that, and they see like Red Hulk go up, they see First Steps Galactus go up. They don't see like Gwenpool stuff and that like added to your hand.
Yeah, because that's like in your hand still. But anything that is on the board, that is typically public information. And then the only other times where it's not is like Red Hulk and Zombie and Galactus First Steps, because those are like. Yeah. Those are things that you're directly changing your gameplay around, because you're like, oh, I need to be playing for this lane or else they're getting power here. Oh, I need to be spending out all my energy or else they're gaining power on their card. And as much as I don't love it, I think Zombie Galacti is going to be a similar situation where it's like, oh, I need to watch out for these cards because these aren't what they currently say they are. If they get that extra energy, this card is actually a bunch more power. This card is actually whatever else they've done to it. Maybe not a bunch more. Maybe it's only a couple more power. Depends on what they've done. But it is legitimately more power than you might be ready for, so you have to keep that in mind. So that's, again, I don't love that it probably will be that way, but it probably will be that way.
Yeah, I think I was hoping that maybe it wouldn't be that way. I think that would make the card better. But
Yeah,
I
which it could not be,
understand
right?
the reasoning for it, you know. Like, it does make sense that it is that way. So from a balancing standpoint, it's not, you know, ridiculously, I mean, not OP, but like that swing isn't too big of a swing, which is why Dance actually created a pretty cool deck, I would say, for this card over here.
I think so. I think that this is going to be the place, and we even talked about this. I think at the beginning of the season, where I said, coaches doing. I will fully. I'm going to quote this. Coach said he was doing the video on this deck, or on this card, for the official Marvel Snap YouTube channel, and he was doing testing. He said the best thing he was able to do was Conchu. So I said, all right, I believe it. And so if you're going to talk about a deck that I will probably be running, or a video I'll be uploading tomorrow, this will be a video on Zombie Galacti is more likely to be one than probably a Grand Arena thing, because this is going to be a pure copium card, but I love it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll see how good it actually is, but you really just need to make a point to not bring it back with too much power. No, incorrect. You need to bring it back with as much power as you can, or you just have to do whatever you need to in order to get it onto the boards, which is why I like the Ghost Rider. I like the Khonshu in here. You've got Luna Snow for the additional value in terms of just letting me play my cards, and you can even just blink it on the board. So you've got these options. You've got Surge, you got Festus in order to reduce the cost of the card. Zombie Power Man as well, I like, and Lady Sif is always going to be hitting Zombie Galacti if it's in your hand. You just have a lot of different options, and I hope this will be good. There's a good chance that stuff in this will change. And again, it may not even be a good deck, because again, I don't think Zombie Galacti is going to be great, but I do like the ideas.
Yeah, I think you're really hoping to get Zombie Galacti buffed in this, because otherwise you have the extra energy, yes, to transform cards, but some of these cards just have like a higher base power than Zombie Galacti, which is just unfortunate with it being at a 7/4.
Yeah. Which is part of the reason why I'm trying to say, like, you hit it, if you can get Khonshu discarded once at least, like, you can do some good stuff there. Or you've got Festus potentially putting some extra power in there, maybe a Surge, but like, yeah, you're going to need to do some of that stuff.
Yeah, but I think that's still a good shout. I went a little bit more copium, and I did a Wiccan Zombie Galacti deck, and I have Esme as one of actually the focal cards in here. Just in case you don't get that extra energy, you could get Esme to give you a copy of the Zombie Galacti, so then you don't have to have 7 energy to play it out, and you're not losing power on Zombie Galacti then.
Yeah.
And then you have Gwenpool, Galacta, Fastos and stuff as ways to be able to get it out. Because, like, the main goal, you're trying to buff Zombie Galacti in this, because you also, like, what Dance was running in his list, are running cards with some bigger power, whether it's the Cosmic Ghost Rider or Goliath. But some of these other cards have, like, lesser power. So, like, hitting a Quicksilver, it turns into a Zombie Galacti. Not bad. Same with a Domino. But, like, you have to have instances where you can actually really get value from it, is the thought process. But it's kind of just like a Wiccan deck on the top end. You have Fastos to be able to potentially get Zombie Galacti out early if you discount it, or Esme, and then, you know, Silver Surfer for steps to potentially get Gwenpool to go off again is the thought process, or another Fastos to go off again to maybe get Zombie Galacti value. But, you know, we'll see. I think this deck is interesting, but I think Zombie Galacti, the 4 power is just the crux of this card, I think, unfortunately.
So the only thing I was going to say with this deck is, I feel like, is there a world where Viv could be played instead of Copycat?
Yes, I think you could, if you really want to pour into that. I wanted to have like a potential card that actually could maybe win.
Nah, you go all in. No,
you could go
you don't
Viv.
need a.
You could go.
Yes. How dare you give yourself an out? Nah, you have to. You dive in head first. You could easily be correct there, but also if you want to dive in head first, I think that the idea of trying to throw Viv in the deck in order to give extra power into the Zombie Galacti, if it is in hand, could also do a lot of other stuff there. But yeah, I'm willing to say you're potentially right, but I also I'm willing to jump head first, feet first, body first. I don't know, cannonball straight in to go for the best thing, not using cannonball.
Oh my goodness. But we're going to be talking about Cannonball here in a second, because it is time, guys. It's time for Series 4 tier list. As we were talking about earlier, the topics for this Series 4 tier list. Buy these. These are irreplaceable and strong cards, okay? That's the next tier. Next are irreplaceable cards, but they're fine. Then we have replaceable cards that are also strong. We have replaceable cards that are fine as they are, and then we have trash tier, okay? So, like, that is the way we're measuring, not this is the absolute definitive best card in the game. We're ranking these on order of what should you buy if you don't have these cards, as well as looking at them as their power and like their integrity as well.
Yeah, some of the buy these cards might actually fit into the other sections,
Yes.
but also I think that they are. I think there's maybe a word where they're just also described as irreplaceable and stronger. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff we can talk about, but the main thing we should talk about are all these cards. We don't have stats on all of them because those stats just change as time goes on, so it's just better to not have those typically. But starting off with Agony here, I feel like Agony is just kind of, it's just a replaceable and strong card.
Yep, I was about to say, perfect. We're right on the noggin.
Airwalker. I feel like
replaceable.
This is irreplaceable.
You think
Oh, okay.
If it's
Right?
irreplaceable, it's irreplaceable and fine.
Yeah, I agree. I do not think it's strong. I do not believe this card is strong. I like this card.
There's not something that does something the same as this card, which is why you think it's
Exactly.
irreplaceable. So, okay.
Yeah. It's honestly the closest thing that what we have is the data mined card for Wade Wilson.
Yes, but it's different targeting.
It's still not one to. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's the closest thing we have to it. But I like that. Going into the next thing, Annihilus. I think I would say it's replaceable and strong.
Yes, with Merlin being as relevant as it is, as well as Lady Deathstrike, you know, seriously, like there's options for it. I think I put it above Agony.
I think at the moment it's being played more, but I think Agony has a better staying.
The Agony Dokken deck. Dokken is so good right now, and because I think with the Merlin and stuff, you know what, actually, I'll put Agony above Annihilus at this moment.
Yeah, and that's fair. Maybe there's a world where they swap, but again, there can be some questions as we get into this minutia of these tiers.
Mm-hmm.
Astral Projection, though. How you feel on this one?
I'm kind of thinking Astral Projection's just replaceable and fine.
I'd agree. Like maybe I think there's like that one, like if you want to go for a super combo heavy deck, maybe you need it. I don't think that's what we're trying to tell people. If you really have a super combo heavy deck and you want to do this one specific thing with the card, maybe okay, cool. It doesn't change that it's not replaceable. Like if I want to do a thing with, for example, talking about data mine cards, the data mine card for Man Spider, I need Agony probably to use it, but I also don't. You don't need Agony.
Yeah. No.
It's kind of.
I agree. And then I think Awesome Andy's also replaceable and fine.
Oh my gosh, you aren't saying trash? Oh, I'm so down.
Awesome Andy's not, like, compared to some of these other cards in here, I don't think Awesome Andy's trash. Like, I don't think it's a good card, but it's not, like, bad.
I'm down. I'm not arguing with you. Anything that, well, let's move off of him so he's locked in and replaceable and fine. Deal.
Batroc? Is that irreplaceable and strong?
Yeah, I think we're going into the irreplaceable and strong category. Because, right, like, if you want to do a deck that uses Batroc, right, it's like with Silk and stuff. You take out Batroc, the deck becomes so much worse. Yes, you can get Killmongered, but, like, you want the Batroc for that deck.
Yeah.
Simply put.
I agree. Beta Ray Bill is replaceable and fine.
Is he replaceable for like a hammer deck? I guess he is. I don't know.
Don't play Beta Ray Bill.
I don't either enough. So I really feel like there's a question of it's in. I think it's the fine category. I just don't know if it's irreplaceable or not. I'll defer to you though.
I mean, there's not a card that does what it does.
I don't know. It's like if you have the Hammer Bros deck, like, can you run Hammer Bros without, I guess, Beta Ray? But it's Bros, maybe not. I don't know.
Is it irreplaceable and fine?
Maybe, yeah. I feel like there's a question. We don't know enough about the card to say it. So I feel like if we put that there, we tell people that, we just put it in the irreplaceable and fine, maybe it's actually replaceable. I just don't know enough about that deck.
Then we got Black Knight.
You didn't put my boy Awesome Andy in trash. I was going to make a joke about putting Black Knight in trash, but I won't.
I think Black Knight's probably replaceable fine.
It's definitely above Awesome Andy for what it's worth. I think Black Knight has more power. You could put it, I think it would be at the top of replaceable and fine or bottom of replaceable and strong.
Probably we can do bottom replaceable and strong. I mean, there's not another card that does what Black Knight does, but like still it's so
you don't
narrow
need
and
it.
Stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Similarly, I think Blob is Actually, do you even need Blob anymore now that we have a card like Galactus First Steps scaling? I think this is a replaceable and fine card.
I think it's replaceable and fine, but
yeah, it's above what we have in there right now, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cannonball is a buy these card.
Is this the first one we're going to say buy these? I think you could easily be correct. It might be irreplaceable and strong, but I do think there's a great chance of it just being, in the buy these. I won't argue with that. Looking at, is this the start of the trash tier just with Cobra? Yeah. Like, I see people trying to run it as a meme for, like, the new season. They're like, okay, we can counter all the zombie stuff with Cobra. Ugh, I'm sorry, Cobra believers. The card isn't great.
Yeah, I think Cobra's trash. I think Corvus is an irreplaceable and strong.
Is it irreplaceable? I think it's replaceable and strong. I think you can do, like, yes, you're not going to get something that does 1-to-1, but also you can just get, like, a Gambit, a Lady Sif can oftentimes serve the purpose of what you want it to do if you don't have the card. I know, again, but no card does everything another card does. But I still don't know if I would say that this is, like, you need this card for, like, a discard deck. It's good. I just don't, I don't know. You see my conundrums
I see
here?
Your conundrum. Then it's going in replaceable as strong. Like, it's not.
Yeah. Oh, definitely not. I'm not saying fine. No.
And
I think it is
Agony.
replaceable and strong. Yeah, it might even be one of the top of the replaceable and strong category.
Okay, I think that's fair. Cold Obsidian is either replaceable, fine, or trash.
Replaceable and fine. It's replaceable and fine. I don't even know. I don't think much more needs to be talked about that.
Dawkin right now has an argument for buy these, but I think he's irreplaceable and strong.
Yes. Okay, cool. I'm glad you didn't say buy these, right? Like, that's one of the things we're trying to do with this list. We're not just trying to say, hey, you need this card to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
Dawkin is good for a really specific deck. And again, if you want that deck, get Dawkin, however you say the name. If you don't, then don't bother.
And then Danger is replaceable and fine, or I don't think Danger's trash necessarily.
It's close to trash, but I don't think it's there.
I think it's right below Cole. Darkhawk is irreplaceable and strong.
And I would put this at the top of irreplaceable and strong. Legit, like, I know that metas can ebb and flow and what have you.
Dawkin.
Sure, that's fine. I know metas can ebb and flow, and so Darkhawk can become less relevant and more relevant. However, no card will do what Darkhawk does, and it's something. It's for the people who like Five Nights at Freddy's, right? Like, always comes back. Isn't that a thing from there?
Comes back. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't watched too many of the Matt Pack videos. Okay. We have Elsa Bloodstone is irreplaceable and fine.
Is she irreplaceable?
I mean, you don't have another card that can give that, like, plus, since Galacti is only +2 now.
I just don't know if it's irreplaceable. Like, yes, you're right that it does. No other card does exactly what she does. I just don't know if she is irreplaceable. Like, I feel like you could still be fine again with even just using Zombie Scarlet Witch even nowadays. Stuff like that. Like, I feel like, or maybe it's just different styles lists. I don't know. Irreplaceable and fine. I guess maybe at the bottom of it. Sure. I feel like there's enough nuance here that I'm uncertain.
Put it above Beta Ray Bill. Sorry, Beta Ray Bill.
Sure.
Fanfei, trash.
Yep, trash. This is I think the worst, maybe one of the worst cards in Marvel Snap, at least later series cards.
Fantasticar is irreplaceable and strong.
I'd say irreplaceable and fine. I don't know if Fantasticar is making the cut even in many end of turn decks as of right now. I think there are other cards that are stronger or doing more for those.
Firelord is replaceable and strong, or replaceable and fine. Sorry.
Yeah, I was about to say, listen, I know I did a Firelord strong guy deck, but the meme is that it's strong guy, so it doesn't mean that Firelord is strong. The strong Firelord. Yeah. I think that's a fair place for the card to exist. It's actually, I don't know.
I think it's better than Cole.
Yeah.
First Ghost Rider,
that's weird.
Trash. Sorry.
I want to top of trash. I like my boy. He's going top of trash. Listen, I've split the card like 6 times. I love that card. I want to top of trash minimum.
Gladiator is irreplaceable and strong.
I think it is replaceable though. Why do you think it's irreplaceable?
I mean,
Because like it's just a big.
With the meta we're in right now, being more small ball oriented and everything too, what it does for you and being able to offset your opponent's combos, like there's not a card that does what Gladiator does.
We have to stop saying that. We're gonna say that about every single card.
But like in this context specifically, like you can.
In terms of just like getting a big card though, right? Like I don't know. You're never playing this to try to. Are you playing this to try to destroy your opponent's card? Like I feel like that's a bonus. You're oftentimes more playing it because it's a big stat line.
I mean, that's also the thing. It's a bonus, and you know you play this onto your Iron Patriot Blade, boom, dead. You know you're playing this just normally in a mill deck, boom, dead. Like it's just the value like at the time right now, because we're doing this because we do this tier list at the time where the meta's current, right? Right now, I believe this is an irreplaceable and strong card, and I will put it like right behind Batroc.
Okay, I'll agree with that behind Batroc at least. I think that's. I don't know if I love it entirely, but I will agree with it behind Batroc. That's fair.
Gorgon, replaceable and fine.
This is a pretty bad card. It's not even. Is this card even played? Actual question. Like I don't know if I've seen this card.
That's getting played a little bit, but it would be like either the bottom. Like it's not trash. I don't think. It's another meta specific. Like I was climbing like crazy with this card actually, on Hot Location Day for Sinister London. Like this card actually, with Merlin and stuff. I mean, it's not like the biggest. I guess it counters it, but I don't think it's a trash tier. Like I think it's still better than First Ghost Rider, Cobra, and Fanfei. There's a world where it moves to the top of trash after we have more things irreplaceable and fine, but I think it's good as is.
Grandmaster thing is irreplaceable and strong because this is one that I would be like, you're playing this for the double like trigger of the on reveal, and if you want that, you can replace it, but the deck will be worse.
Yes, no, I think Grandmaster is a great shout there. Hellion is
replaceable and strong, I think.
Yes, I think there's an argument for irreplaceable, but I think it is replaceable and strong.
Like it's better, but you do like if you want to have Hellion's effect, it is just cloak then. And yes, you have to give your opponent the benefit, but that's what you would have to do.
Hitmonkey is irreplaceable and fine.
Yeah, I think I'd like it if Hitmonkey was better. I think Hitmonkey is just irreplaceable fine. It's just again, you need Hitmonkey in order if you want to run Hitmonkey. Otherwise, like you, good luck with the deck. I don't know what you're trying to do there.
It's true. Iron Lad, trash.
I think it's is it trash?
Right now, I think Iron Lad's trash.
Yeah, you're probably right. I don't like it, but I think you're probably right.
Jennifer Kale, replaceable and fine.
Yeah, I think it's actually at the top. Like this is, I think, the best of these replaceable and fine cards we currently have.
Okay. Omega Sentinel, replaceable and strong.
I think it's a bottom of replaceable and strong. Like these two cards are actually a very similar power level, I think, in my personal opinion.
King Eitri, irreplaceable and fine.
Yeah, I think King Eitri is irreplaceable and fine. If you want to do anything with that stuff, yeah, it's probably there. No, I'd agree. Yeah, I think it's just if you want to do what King Eitri does, like there's just nothing else that really is going to serve you the same purpose. You'll try, but best of luck.
Lasher, replaceable and fine, or replaceable and strong.
I think it's irreplaceable, especially in terms of if you're talking about Cerebro stuff. This like I feel like the card just does so much value. It's similar to a Mr. Sinister.
But like you don't lose games.
You're right.
I guess
it's just
so maybe
you're right.
It's a replaceable and strong. Kind of like it's kind of the Corvus argument. I feel like with it when it comes to Lasher.
Great. Yeah, that's such a good point. Yeah, it's the Corvus of that style of stuff. Which is honestly, I feel like it's similar to what Laufey has. I think Laufey's closer to the end of the replaceable. Is Laufey strong or like how would you describe Laufey? I don't actually know. I don't know if I've seen much. Maybe it means
Laufey is strong now because there's a lack of Luke Cage.
Sure.
And I think the value is like, which even with, but it's different than Lasher because like you don't have to pump this card up to get crazy value. Like this in general is solid.
I think we should put it top of replaceable and fine because also talking about a little bit of like, because next season we're also going to have even more stuff stealing power.
This card is better than Black Knight, Omega Sentinel. All
right, fine, but put it above Black Knight. I'd say then fine. I think that's fair. I do not believe it's better than Hellion or Annihilus, straight up. I do not believe that. Like, I know sometimes I'll give it to you. I just don't believe it's better than those cards. I think those cards just simply offer more.
All right.
This Legion. What do you think here? This is one I would maybe even argue this could argue into the buy these. I don't know if I would actually go that far, but like there's an argument for Legion going in buy these just because I don't even know if it's here's the thing. I actually don't think it's replaceable. Or I think it's replaceable. But I still think it would be a buy these because it's just right. Like you don't lose, like it's just a tech card. So you can replace it with a different style of tech card. Like honestly, a Quake would do something similar to Legion oftentimes. Maybe not 1-to-1 or it's changing location. So you want to go with the Scarlet Witch or something like that. I just don't think it's insane that way. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's irreplaceable and strong.
All right, fair enough.
All right. Next, we have the Living Tribunal, Dance. So what do we think about Tribunal?
This is an irreplaceable card.
Irreplaceable and fine.
I think, yeah, it's I don't know which category, honestly. This is, again, one that I feel like some bias may occur, but I definitely think it's in one of those, and I don't have an issue with either one, personally.
Okay. So,
Loki is the next card. Yeah, I see that.
Is Loki replaceable and fine or trash?
I think it's bottom of replaceable and fine, legitimately.
But do we put it above Gorgon?
I think Gorgon is better than Loki, personally.
Okay.
I remember how I was talking earlier about how I think there are some cards that just never should have been made.
Yeah.
Loki.
Okay.
Oh shoot! I just realized I had mistyped the word trash. I typed it TRASH when it should have been spelled MAD space THINKER. Mad Thinker. God, I keep forgetting about this card. This card sucks, bro.
Mad Thinker. Sorry, Thinker man. But yeah, Mad Thinker's bad.
What question for you? Would it be good at even as a +3? I don't even think that it would be.
No, it's just like that style of deck is just not great right now. I mean, yes,
yeah,
there's like Kahori things, but like Kahori is a completely different it's not a different concept. It's just different than like just Devil Dino's not good, and if Devil Dino's not good, Mad Thinker's not going to be good.
And,
you know?
Yeah.
Like,
there's an interesting thing. And it's with a few of these 1-drops. And I was thinking about this recently. And Mad Thinker's supposed to be one of them. It didn't work. But it's meant to be, all right, what if this isn't what if this isn't a card that you build for? It's meant to be a bonus. And that's what Mad Thinker is. And legitimately, I'm just going to skip forward a little bit. I think Nicholas Scratch is also like that. Nicholas Scratch is another one like that. And a card that I know you don't love, but I do. Jim Hammond is, again, a card where you don't build to use Jim Hammond. Jim Hammond is a bonus for the deck, right? And it's similar for all those three, but none of them are amazing. They've gone to okay, or they're just bad. And Nicholas Scratch is barely, I think, at an okay level, but I'm just skipping ahead. Like I said, I think it's just in the replaceable and fine, but it's just not good still.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Again, I know you don't love this. I know you don't love Jimmy, but I think that's kind of the way all of those exist. And Mad Thinker is just the worst out of those, I guess, 3 types of payoffs that we currently have like those.
Yeah, no, I think forget it. Jim Hammond Human Torch is also a Series 5 card. Kind of crazy.
Yeah. So was Kang for a while.
Yeah, well, yeah, Big Bad. King also is a big bad. And then
I don't know. We're not in a situation, I think, anymore with Marvel Snap where it's cards that are actively, like, the best cards aren't Series 5 anymore. Right? Like, we're about to talk about, not this card, but we were about to talk about Mercury afterwards. So let's talk about Man-Thing, and then we can say Mercury, because it's like, they're doing, I think, a better job of keeping all the series, I think, more balanced.
Yeah, I would say in general, there's a lot of stuff here on these later half. I think, yeah, of like the Series 4 cards that definitely are like benefits in general. So like Man-Thing here, I think is there's the replaceable Man-Thing card would kind of be Laufey, but
I think they go next to each other. I think it's Man-Thing is better than Laufey. I think in terms of more Ajax decks, I think Man-Thing is just a card that is just used more often. But they serve similar roles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mercury's a buy these card.
Until it gets like a ability removed, like it's just a good card.
Yeah, no, Mercury is so good.
Oh, that sucks that we have Cannibal and Mercury as the two buy these. Like, I kind of hate that, but at the same time, it tracks. It legitimately tracks. Like, these are two very good cards. And it's maybe not even the most meta relevant all time, but it's just the fact that I think these are cards that you just, these are cards that are just good to have in your arsenal. And sometimes the cards that we would talk about would be like whenever we get to the Series 5 one, Nico and we have Merlin and stuff like that, where it's just, these just are useful. These just can be used in a variety of places and they're irreplaceable in that way. But they're not, they don't do this. It's different stuff. So I feel like the buy these area is a bit more interesting. So I think that's fun.
Yeah. Cannibal freaking Mercury, bro. Okay. I mean, it's just so good.
I'm upset that
if it ain't broke, don't fix it, you know? But it is broke. Meek is replaceable and strong.
Are they broken? Are they broken still?
No.
Yeah, I feel like they're just, I don't know. They are legitimately fine, but they are also, I don't know if unless again you're looking to make one of these irreplaceable things, it is just, those cards just are good. They're just good.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We think Meek's replaceable and strong?
Yeah, I'd agree. You like to have it, but you don't need it for the deck. I think, yeah, I'd argue I think that's correct. I think it's correct.
But not above Agony and Corvus. Mole Man, is Mole Man trash or is Mole Man replaceable and fine?
I honestly think Mole Man is more replaceable and fine. I legitimately do think that. I don't know. I've had enough fun with Mole Man that I really do enjoy the card. I'm not going to say it's good in the slightest, but yeah, I think that's exactly cool. That's exactly where I was thinking. Yeah, it's just, dude, listen, some of the replaceable and fine cards are some of my favorite cards in the game. Okay, like these are all like, I am not going to say they're good, but yeah, they're fine. Honestly, like I don't know what you could do to the card to make it better legitimately. I guess an extra point of power, but still, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe make it a 3/5. I don't know. It's just weird. It's just Killmonger so relevant. It's like why play this in general kind of thing. But Miss Marvel is replaceable fine?
Yeah. Yeah. I think she's probably just replaceable and fine. I'd say she's definitely on the awesome. Okay, I love Awesome Andy. You cannot. Awesome Andy is worse than her. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool.
Nicholas Scratch trash.
I don't know where you have him in the thing right now because we can't see the trash tier currently, but yeah, all right. Move on before I disagree.
Fasto is Fasto's like top tier replaceable and fine, or is he low end replaceable strong?
He's fine. I would not say he's strong. I don't even think that's a word I would use. I think it would be, I think Kale's better than him. I think he's better than Blob currently.
Currently, yes, because you're seeing him in more stuff, especially this week.
Yeah.
Pixie is irreplaceable and fine, or irreplaceable and strong?
Irreplaceable and fine. There's no way Pixie is. I like Pixie. Pixie is not strong.
Okay. Ravona, irreplaceable and strong.
This is one of the ones I was kind of thinking might be a buy. Like, this is an irreplaceable and strong.
Or honestly, buy these, I don't hate.
Actually,
but I think
it's irreplaceable in it.
But I think it's
like, you don't need this card to play the game. This isn't going to serve you as well as everything else will, like the other stuff we currently have in Buy These does. But if you want to use a deck with Ravona and you don't have Ravona, best of luck.
Yeah. Redshift is replaceable and fine, or like low and replaceable strong?
I think it's low and replaceable and strong. Actually, Is it No, I mean, I'm thinking specifically of the Agatha Hella deck. I think that deck doesn't work without Redshift.
Well, it has Zombie Power Man instead of Redshift.
The good ones don't anymore.
The good ones are running Redshift instead of Zombie Power Man?
Yeah, they just don't use... Because I think I told you I hit Infinite with the Agatha Hella because I was absolutely cooked. And I was looking at the best decks for Agatha, at least the most played ones. I'm looking through them right now, and I just typed in Agatha Hella, and I think the 12th deck had Zombie Power Man. So, you know what? I guess it is replaceable.
It's replaceable strong, though, then not irreplaceable.
Yes, I think that would be the place then. Yeah, I actually think it's probably... I would put it... Yeah, that's a good place. Yeah, right above Annihilus and...
Below Hellion.
Below Hellion. Yeah, I agree.
Sasquatch... Is Sasquatch... I think there's an argument... I think Sasquatch is kind of an irreplaceable card. Yes, I think there's an argument for irreplaceable strong, if not top of irreplaceable and fine. I think this card is good. Like, there's nothing that does... I mean, we say nothing does something like it, but like...
Mockingbird, but yeah, it doesn't do... You want both of them in the deck, so I would still... I think it's irreplaceable. Put it at bottom of irreplaceable and strong. I don't know. Okay. Let's put some cards up there. I think you could easily argue the other tier.
Shaw is replaceable and strong.
We're in a weird place where I would agree with you. Yeah, I at one point I'd be like, nah, you need Shaw.
No, I think, but I put him.
He's above Meek, I think.
Okay, below Agony. You can go kind of yeah.
I think right below Agony. Yeah, I like that.
Surfer for Steps is replaceable and fine. Maybe actually top of replaceable fine.
I'd put it.
But actually, I mean, I gotta put it above Black Knight and Omega Sentinel. These cards, I think, need to get moved.
I actually think those should both go down. I was about to say that, right? Like Omega Sentinel and Black Knight. We could put Black Knight at the top of it. Omega Sentinel, I think, is I agree with that. It's because I definitely think it's a stronger card. It's not. Maybe it's fine. I don't know. It's better.
Mm-hmm.
So Surfer for Steps is.
Scar is replaceable and fine. Or
I'd argue irreplaceable.
Irreplaceable and fine, though.
Yes, I'd agree with that. I think it could be. I think it's right below Tribunal.
Okay. Super Adaptoid is replaceable and fine, or trash.
This card is. I'd actually argue this is trash.
Maybe top trash.
Yeah. Here's the thing. This is the thing I think we talked about when the card came out. When we get more activate cards, it could only go up. However, for now, it's not good. We just don't have enough reasons for it.
Yeah. Supergiant is irreplaceable and strong.
Yeah, I think that is... where'd it go? It's above Darkhawk? I put it above... I like it right... Yep, good. Sold.
Terrax is irreplaceable and strong.
Put it right below Darkhawk.
Above Ravonna.
Yeah. Right, like I just don't think you can. I think that is for Darkhawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phoenix Force right now is replaceable and fine. I don't think it's not trashed here, but I think it's replaceable and fine.
Yeah, it's above
because you have
it's above Astral Projection.
Yeah, because you have Fire Lord and stuff, but Phoenix Force I think I still would put above a bunch of this stuff.
Yep.
Topaz is.
This is bottom of like this is below Mole Man, I think, is where Topaz goes. Replaceable and fine.
I might put it above Loki.
Sure.
Toxic
I do think there's an argument with Mole Man. Trash it. God, there's so many unfortunate trash cards here. But I will say with Topaz or with Mole Man, I do think it's like I feel like there's some decks with Mole Man that the deck has to completely change in order to take out Mole Man, but also I really think that Mole Man...
What is Mole Man's play
still
right now?
It's not good. No. I'm just trying to say that...
I'm just curious.
Oh, fair. I'm not trying to defend enough like it should go higher. I'm also just saying like I feel like there's a weird world you could even argue it's potentially irreplaceable, but I don't have any knowledge to say that in any sort of confidence.
Okay.
It has a question mark. It has 0.4. So who knows?
Gosh.
It's just not a good card.
Uncle Ben
is... I don't think you can replace this card.
Irreplaceable and fine?
I'd argue it's above Fantasticar, I think.
I'll put it above Airwalker.
Okay. I think it's better than Hitmonkey. I think you could do that, but I will accept it.
Valentina, I have
Replaceable and strong.
replaceable and strong, but like top, near the top,
Yeah,
not the
this-
absolute top, but
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Yeah, she's just a good card.
Okay,
And the reason, again, right, like decks will run Valentina, and then you're gonna be like, oh, I don't have Valentina for this deck. This sucks. So many decks that have it, but you have Iron Page. You have other cards that can serve the role of it, even though you don't have that same one. This is the top of irreplaceable and strong. I don't know if it's by these. Do we say it's by these? Like, I love this guy.
Werewolf is a buy these card.
Then that it goes above everything else because we have tech cards, and I want Werewolf as the most fun.
Werewolf
card.
is the.
It's a fun card.
Yeah.
I will say, this is also this is from a fun perspective as well. This is a really Werewolf Knight is such a fun card.
This card is incredibly good right now too. Like,
yeah, and again, if it gets nerfed, that stuff like this it could easily get shifted down so far. But also, like I've said many times, the more and more of these skills we get, the better and better. Like, it's just good.
yeah. X23 is irreplaceable and strong, or is it also a buy these? I think it could be a buy these behind Mercury.
It's only for destroy though, is my issue with it.
But
I feel like it could.
But like the engine you get with X23, it is crazy.
I think you put it top of irreplaceable and strong. I think it's that. Because like you don't need the card to play the game, but it is like
you need
if you want to play
the
Destroy,
card to
you
play
need
this post infinite.
Yeah, but you also, if you want to play Darkhawk, you need Darkhawk post infinite. Like, that's just plenty of those things. I think it's top of irreplaceable and strong, and I actually kind of like that as like the definition of irreplaceable and strong.
I disagree, but okay. Zombie Giant Man.
This is an irreplaceable and strong one, I think, again.
No.
Irreplaceable and fine? Because you need, this is irreplaceable, definitely. I don't think it's a buy these because you want the whole package. So I don't think we'd be saying that. So I feel like it's strong because the deck is competitive, at least as of this month. The question obviously is going to be how much staying power does this deck have once we no longer are doing missions and such with it. But what are you feeling here?
I don't think you have to have this card.
For the zombie deck, I think you do.
I mean, it gives the zombie, like, it gives the Horde 2 power. And it takes on power too, but like...
I just realized the hunger isn't shown in this. We'll talk about, can we talk about the hunger as well with that? I don't know if that kind of buries the lead or maybe is wrong, or I can just give you an image of it, but I also think that the hunger is an interesting question.
I think the hunger I rank higher than Zombie Giant Man.
It's fair. Where do you think Zombie Giant Man would go then?
Probably replaceable and strong.
I really disagree with the replaceable bit. What do you think with the hunger?
Hunger is irreplaceable and probably irreplaceable and strong. Or irreplaceable.
Fair
and
enough.
fine.
I think Zombie Giant Man should be in irreplaceable and fine then. I think it is just, I think you need the card for the deck.
I don't think you need the card for the deck. But there's no other
It's
big card for it, but like I think you can totally win games without Zombie Giant Man.
Maybe so. But then where would you say the hunger would fit, as we don't have it here?
Hunger I'd probably put right above Scar.
Yeah, I could see that, yeah.
So imaginary hunger goes right here. Right here.
Yeah, I didn't have it in there because it's currently listed as a special event card, which is why I forgot it.
Zombie Power Man is replaceable
and strong.
Is strong?
Oh, I think the card's, yeah, I think it's a strong card. Especially if we're going to compare in like the Redshift and Laufey and such, like it's just, I think that's exactly where it would sit.
It's either like right behind Redshift or right behind Annihilus.
Yeah, you know what? Use Zombie Sentry as the hunger stand-in. I have Zombie Sentry in this list. We don't really know enough on that yet, but that can be our hunger stand-in for now.
Okay,
we'll say that.
Zombie Sentry.
We're saying that as Zombie Sentry literally has come out like in the last few hours. We don't know. We don't know the stuff on it, but this is a pretty. I like the tier list. I like this one.
This is interesting. Is there anything we need to... I mean... X23 above Dokken.
You think Dokken's better?
I think Dokken right now is better than X23.
That's fair. Yeah, I like what we have here. I'm gonna go through this in order because I can. No, I'm not. Actually, no. There's like 100 cards. No, I gave up immediately as soon as I realized how many cards there were. No, screw that noise. I'm not doing that.
But this is going to be the tier list for the Series 4 cards as we do come to a close on the Yap. Let us know down below, what are your guys' thoughts? Are we completely wrong? Are we somewhat right? Or is this just kind of, what are you guys doing? And then the special word for today...
It's 4.
Is 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, let us know what you think. Or give us any of your predictions of where you think some of these Series 5 cards will fit in. Right? I think we're gonna stick with the same tiers. But let us know if you have any Series 5 cards you think are gonna be slotting into what is it? Where you might guess some of these Series 5 cards will go. And maybe if we read through the comments, we might comment on some. We might say why we disagree or agree with it whenever we get to those cards.
Yeah, but we want to say thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you guys did stick around the very end, let us know, like you said, down below. 4. 4 is the word.
4.
And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It's been real. God bless, and laters.